Yeah. We'll see what it is tomorrow. We'll go somewhere else.
Especially in our
Working together with your. As long as you're not on that list, babe.
Right.
I don't know what it is.
It's like we got a video game going on over there.
Looks like Minecraft.
It's 5:35, so I'd like to call a meeting to order. Try to join me in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll just move straight into the consent agenda. Brad, is there anything you wanted to add for that?
There is not, no.
Are there any questions? Now I entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Sorry.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Not.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 5-0. Moving on to old business, HPR used truck, right?
So we've been looking for a truck for some time for the HPNR department. And we were informed that there was a truck that was available at Armbruster Motor Company up in Falls City. It is a 2022 Dodge Ram 1500. It's a crew cab. And when we were informed about this truck, I made sure that I sent Brad Stephen Morgan and Sean Babbitt with him. Make sure that everything was mechanically okay with the truck. They thought that it'd be a great, it'd work great for what they need it for. They said that we could also use it as a crew cab. It can also be used to go out of town if needed. They think that this is a great option for the city of Hiawatha. After hearing what they had to say about it, I thought we were in contact with Armbruster as well. They had agreed to hold this for us while we got to the meeting. And so the price on this truck is $31,900. And I would go ahead and I would recommend that we approve the purchase of a 2022 Dodge Ram 1500 from Armbruster Motor Company in Falls City for a price of $31,900.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of a 2022 Dodge Ram 1500 from Mount Brewster Motor Company in Falls City for a price of $31,900.
Second.
Been moved and second to approve the purchase of a 2022 Dodge Ram. Any further discussion? Not.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 5-0. 4 years later. Moving on to number 2, resolution 2024-15.
So this is the resolution that was, let us implement the 3% raise that was budgeted for in 2025. And that's what this covered. That raise would be able to go into effect January 1st. And so that's what this resolution is about. And like I said, I would recommend the adoption of resolution number 2024-15 for a 3% cost of living pay raise to go into effect January 1st for all employees.
I'll make that motion, what Brad just stated there. I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2024-15. Any further discussion?
And that's gonna be not full, it's just full-time.
Full-time. Any other discussion? No?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 5-0. Then moving on to item number 3, resolution 2024-16.
So resolution 2024-16 is all about the creation of a reinvestment housing incentive district, which would be the property that we're talking about west of Bruning Park. Right, currently this is agricultural land. This is the same property that we've gone out for a medium housing, medium income housing grant for, and we're also looking at tax credits for those. So what this does, what this RHID is really targeted towards infrastructure improvements, streets, water mains, sewer, things like that. So what this does is it helps establish a baseline as far as what the tax base is. Right now, it's agricultural land. We're not getting tax money off of that, and so that is the baseline is basically set at 0. What this allows is for any increase in what that we can capture, what that increase in what the tax would be as far as the development goes, and that could that would help pay for the infrastructure upgrades. And so that's what really this is. This is another one of those steps that we have to take in order to hopefully we get a housing project done this year. But really, that's all dependent on our grants being approved and things like that. And so this is just yet another one of those steps that we have to take in order for this project to work.
Do you have any idea when we'll hear anything back on the grants that we've applied for?
I've heard January.
I have a question. Right now, this is ag-based, the property. If we approve this tonight to go with this, then that makes it housing. A housing district. So if the grants are not approved and we vote this in, we have a chance to sell the property to someone else that doesn't want to put in a housing district.
And so the way this would work is the RHID would not go forward if the housing project does not go forward, the RHID would also not go forward. And so what we could do is we would still be able to sell that land if something like that came up. We would still be able to do that.
So it would be stated in the proposal or in the resolution?
It would not be stated in the resolution.
It's automatic.
It's just on it. It would still be our land. We could still sell it if we so chose to. But what this does is it helps establish the boundaries of that district, just in case that we ever did develop that district. That's what this does. This sets the boundaries of that. I think it's right around 34 acres out there
So this is for the whole thing, not just the triangle?
This is for the whole thing, not just a triangle, yes.
Yeah, talk about that a little more. Premium land out there.
Like you said, if it doesn't go anywhere, then
Yeah, but you're opening up the door to lose all your farmland out there and premium area for other houses if we even limit for someone to build a nice house. That's kind of what I thought our understanding was. We were tucking the one project in on the corner and then kind of leaving the other stuff, the more premium areas for
Single family homes.
single family homes. So this is getting a lot bigger than what we've talked about.
It really, it is getting bigger than what we've talked about, and so the triangle way that we've talked about, what they're wanting to do is move the original housing development, they want to move that to the east. It's gonna be closer to the soccer fields now, but this would still allow, if we were to develop that way in the future, it would capture that. This would allow us to build that infrastructure to the rest of that property if we so chose to. This isn't just for any one developer. This could also be used for other development as well. Even though that the development that we're talking about, the MIH grant, is really targeted towards, I think it's 8 duplexes, I believe. It's really going to be, this would capture that entire land, that if in the future it did develop, then we could still develop that land. But it would make it exclusive to any one developer.
Did I hear you correctly? They're now thinking about putting those 8 duplexes on the east side of that property?
Further east, up towards the soccer fields, that's correct.
That's kind of what they had proposed, I think, but then that all fell through, if I'm right, if that's correct.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen any drawings, I guess, to show what they're wanting to do anymore, I guess, if that's fair enough to say, because I do remember seeing something about maybe them wanting to go over there, but we've never talked about that as a commission or anything. I don't feel that we have yet. I mean.
Yeah, I've seen the sketch. I don't know which meeting it came out in. I think the original developer didn't like that triangle because of entrances on the 2 roads so close to that corner. And then he thought it'd be more expensive to develop that triangle than moving it up east.
Yeah, but I don't think we've ever said that that's okay though.
Yeah, no, I couldn't say. I don't know what it's been.
I mean, I remember him saying, yeah, it was gonna be expensive, but that kind of wasn't our problem because we were giving them the land and everything. It was kind of the way I understand, if I'm mistaken.
I think you're right, Rod. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with working with people and stuff, but you can't just move stuff wherever they want and then.
I don't recall seeing the sketch.
There was, I do remember seeing some type of
Yeah,
sketch that
that's
they.
it. I don't remember what meeting it is.
I don't remember.
it's been a month.
And I also kind of thought that was just like a second, future. It was more worded like, hey, this is what we would like to do later, instead of changing everything right then, but maybe I'm just kind of thinking about, I think
I know that when we were talking about this when we were going through the MIH grant process, that's when I believe that they were discussing the development, because they have a name for the development out there, but that's when they were discussing the development, and that's when I believe that you probably saw the sketches in the agenda packets about where they were proposing that.
I mean, I'll recommend, does this need to be done by this year? Can we table this?
We can table this if you guys would like more, if you would like more information.
I myself would, at this point, I would like to just know exactly what's going on out there a little bit more, because I don't feel like and if that's my fault, fine, but I don't feel like I know exactly.
And I
what-
think with the new people coming on, we need them to get up to date on what's going on.
And this won't impact anything as far as the other grants that we're putting in for yet. I
No,
mean,
this will not impact anything. If we table this will not impact.
okay, I mean, as long as it doesn't put us backwards. You know, and that's a good point with new people coming on to get them up to speed on it all.
Even the old people.
Even though people. I forget a lot of it now and then, so. Like I said, I just want to make sure we're not going backward. As long as we keep
Yeah.
moving forward, that's what's most important, because we've been working hard to get this development out there, and I hate to lose any opportunities, but if you say by tabling it, it's not gonna hurt anything, then I'm as well, I don't know what to
No,
do.
that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just table it, but I forget, we don't need a motion to table it, do we? Do we? I always forget. See you once again.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, then we'll move on to communications.
So we just have the November twenty twenty-four judges report. We have the KDHE letter that stated that the lagoon that was constructed for the North Sewer Plant project, that did pass the seepage test, so that was good news. And so those are the two things that were in communication.
Any questions? Always good to get good news from KDHD. You know. So then moving on to department head comments. You again, Brandon.
Yeah, so I do have one thing for tonight. I was approached by, I believe what goes on is December 25th, Walmart closes down. And so typically what they do is they pay police officers to go out and kind of run security for them. And so what I've been asked is if it would be okay for them to use their patrol for their police cars for them to go do that with. And I believe that's fine. Walmart actually pays for them to go do that. So they pay their wages for that day. And I thought it'd be a good thing. And having police vehicles on site would be yet another deterrent or anything like that. But in order to do that, we would need to suspend policy 01 in the personnel policy, very much like what we do for the Halloween parade. We just did this recently with the fire truck for Santa. Same policy we would need to suspend. And so that's what I would ask to do here.
I think it's a good idea. It never hurts to have police visually, even their cars. Walmart has done a lot for Hiawatha as far as donating and helping out the community.
So is that a motion that you just made?
I'll make that motion, sure.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Not,
All in favor?
aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 5-0. Chief Gruber?
You want to borrow these?
About 45, it starts, you go to the medicine cabinet, and it's like, why are they making this so small? It's terrible. It is. A few things, Officer Grady Miller, we've been here well over a year. He is resigning and taking a position at Donaldson County Sheriff's Office. Effective his last day is January 4th. Hate to see him go, but that's what he wants to do. The SRO thing, that was a question that came up a while back. Dugan Shoemaker's been filling in, doing an excellent job of filling in the hole and taking care of that for us. And then speaking of Walmart and Rainbow Communications have given the police department grants locally. And this is being combined with a grant from the Justice Assistance Grants, a federal grant that we got from the state of Kansas. Because we need a new forensic computer. First one was free, the Secret Service gave it to us. It's 6 years old. And we need a new forensic computer, we need to get a new updated forensic license. And the combination of Rainbow's grant that they gave us, Walmart's grant that they gave us, the JAG grant. And then between the city and Hiawatha and Brown County, Kansas, we're gonna fund it. It's about $25,000 for the computer and the software. And that's being funded completely, basically by grants. So that's a good thing, because we need that to continue what we do with the forensics and the phones and the computers. But other than that, I don't have anything unless you got.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Brad, were you gonna talk for Stacy or?
I believe that she had hers. She is,
Okay.
That's the last.
she's in, Kansas, I believe, a family.
Okay. A nice summary of her report though, so. Dominic?
Good evening. First, I'm going to do the report by Ryan Smith, the water supervisor. And I'll have to add, there's a lot more behind this, but I just told him, give me some of the highlights, but, he said, completed 3 service leaks, fixed a leaking hydrant right down by the storage at 8th and Iowa. They just fixed that last week. Around 30 locates. Here's the time consuming. The hand reading of the meters is only picking up 51%, so they are hand reading, which leaves around 770 meters to hand read. That's what we're at now with that. So it's taken a lot of time from the water department. It is, but they're doing an excellent job. I'm going backwards a little bit into November, right after Thanksgiving. We were real proud of how those guys got together and got the Christmas decorations up. The water crew with Gene Atlin and other public works employees. So Ryan Smith is doing a wonderful job with the crew. My next one is the wastewater report. Bruce went into detail but his daily rounds, there's 9 locations in the city that he does. Him and Rusty Jocelyn do the sewer rounds, and the monthly samples, he keeps very good report on the sampling. It just excellent job they do. And the EMR at the end of the month to KDHE, he's gotten us out of violations and he's doing an excellent job with that. His record keeping is very good. He's sewer jetted, he said 3 times this month, and delivered the old jetter to Eagle Sundown Services, Roland Keller. Plumber inspections after line replacement, there's been several of those this last month. Ordering parts, we have 3 pumps out right now, and this last month has been a breakdown, but Bruce just keeps rolling. What else? Maintaining the main plant. He runs the press 3 or 4 times a week, which keeps the solids down. And they've been having a lot of problems with broken air lines at the plant. But Bruce is doing an excellent job, him and his crew, and coming in very well. The street department. Supervisor Sean Babb gave me this report. Sold and delivered the asphalt zipper to Brown County Road and Bridge. He fixed some signs during the month on Oregon, Miami, and Iowa. Ordered and received a bunch of signs so he can get a lot of signs out on First Street. A lot of them need changed. We've rode around and looked at them. Finished brush mowing, he said. Winterized and stored summer equipment, roller, brush roller, water trailer. Organized and inventoried signs. Him and Jason were doing that the other day. I thought they were doing an excellent job. Went and picked up 2 loads of rock for Potawatomi drainage project. Repaired some damaged signs on Miami and Potawatomi. And then he's getting the snow equipment ready. We have the storm sewer work on the 300 block of Potawatomi right now. And mainly running that project is Nick C. Morgan and Wyatt Denton. They're doing an excellent job over there. I went over there a couple of times. They had to change elevation on sewer lines and stuff, which, you know, is kind of a feat in itself. And then I'm going to talk about those 2 guys last month again. I was up there and took a picture of Wyatt and Nick working on that 130-year-old clock up there, and they got it almost down to the minute I don't know how they figure it out, they figure it out, but no, we got a good public works crew, and that is the end of my report unless you have some questions.
I don't have any questions, I just have a comment.
Okay.
You said that all of your department heads are doing an excellent job. I think you're doing an excellent job also,
Thank you.
and we appreciate that.
It looks better when you got a good crew, those guys, I don't need to hold their hand.
You're all
Thank you, I
doing an
appreciate it.
excellent job.
Thank you.
Dominic?
Thank you.
Moving on to city administrator now, Brad Scott.
I just have one thing to add. Kind of expanding on what Tony just said. I was able to take vacation last week. And we have such a staff here at the city that I am truly able to, when I go on vacation, I'm able to relax. I know that everybody has everything under control. And from administration to public works, to the police, to the fire, everybody has everything under control. And I know I am truly blessed to be surrounded with such capable staff. And it, like I said, it allows me to go home and relax and spend time with my family and really kind of recharge my batteries. And so I'd like to thank all the city employees for helping me through this year. It's been a tremendous year. I think we've had a lot of successes. We've had a lot of challenges. And I think that we've come through them very, very well. And I'm very proud of everybody that I work with. That's all I have.
I appreciate that, Brad. Moving on to governing body comments, I suppose the only thing I have to say is I wish everybody the best for happy holidays. I mean, hard to believe that next time we meet, we're gonna be in January. So I hope we have a good into this 2024. Dave?
Yeah, I want to thank all the city employees for all their hard work for the year, and hope they keep it up. It's like a well-oiled machine.
It's been a long road to get there.
Everybody a Merry Christmas.
Tony?
Well, I was talking to Brad earlier, and I told him that I wanted to tell all of you, since this is basically my last meeting with the commission, that I think you're all a bunch of the greatest people who would be in the greatest people that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. And as far as the residents and the community, the city, I just love this town, the city. I'm so blessed that I've been able to be a steward to this city, serve you as your commissioner. I've truly tried to do my best. It's just been my honor working with the department heads and the office staff and the mayor and commissioners and everybody. I'm gonna miss you all greatly. It's time to pass the torch. The old lady's taking this hat off. I've been doing this commissioner, counselor since 2003, for over 20 years, and it's time. My daughter's actually having Christmas this year. There's a lot of changes in my life. I realized the other day that this is the first time in 61 years I'm not having Christmas at my house. And so all of this is kind of bittersweet, leaving the commission and turning it over to Tom Martin, who I know is going to do a fabulous job. We've had some good talks, and he's going to do you all well. I just want to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, and lots of good health. And Tom, you're the new sheriff in town. In this seat anyway. Another sheriff in town down in that seat. I want to thank you all so much for the honor and the privilege of serving you as commissioner. Thank you. Merry
We thank you,
Christmas.
Tony.
Thank you.
Next time. Okay, Brian?
Can you just tell, what we got going on with the bids? There's one for, is there sewer plant bid? Or something that we're accepting, water lines?
So what we have going on with bids right now, it's water meters. We have an RFP out for the water meters right now. So what this is, we have proposals out there. We're gonna get those back right at the end. It's gonna be, they're gonna be ready for the last meeting in January. And so we'll be able to evaluate those proposals and see what we need to do to replace these water meters that we have. Currently, right now, we have, like, was pointed out, we have right around 50% of the system that has failed. The water meters themselves have not failed. They still read fine. It's just the electronic component of these water meters that have failed. The component that allows us to read these meters by our computer driving around and reading them. And it just causes us to have to lift the lids up to read these meters. And so we have a request for proposal out there for the replacement of that entire system. And so that's what we have out there for right now. Is there anything else that you're?
There's something about water line. I'll get with you about it later.
Okay,
And then the house.
okay, so the house, so 1101 Miami Street, we had asked for quotes for those, with that came back today. They ranged, but the low quote was from Sony Construction, that was for $1,700. That was something that was under my authority. I just went ahead and approved that to be done, and so that's what that was, to tear down 1101 Miami Street. The cost was $1,700 for that.
They just push it over, couldn't they? Probably buy it on the house still standing. Anything else, Brian?
No, just, Merry Christmas, everybody, and have a happy New Year.
Evans?
Well, just like wish everybody happy holidays and thank you again, all the city employees, and wish Laura the best coming in. And and also thank you for the Christmas party that the city had. That was a great time. A lot of good food and everything. So very much appreciated what you guys all did to make that happen. So a lot of fun. So that's all I've got.
Tony, would you like to make the last motion?
I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
I'll second it.
Moved in second, any further discussion? We'll accept that with regrets, Tony. If not, done.
All fair,
Aye.
Aye.
all opposed.
Motion passed 5-0.